All right, and it's official. The announcement has come from the Election Commission for Jammu and Kashmir. For the first time in 10 years since 2014, the last polls, 2024 will witness assembly elections, 3 phases, 18th September, 25th September, 1st October, and then the counting on the 4th of October. Also for Haryana, 1 phase elections on the 1st of October. Both states will have counting. J&K as Union Territory, Haryana as the state. On the 4th of October, the counting will be done. So finally, the dates have been released. All eyes will be, remember, of course, while on J&K, because there will be a lot of after the historic milestones, the first time. And as the Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar said, that people of Jammu and Kashmir have chosen the ballot over bullet and boycott. And that's a very important statement coming in. I'm joined by, in the studios, Gaurav Sawant and Preeti Chaudhary, because J&K and Haryana both heading for elections. Gaurav, first to you, how significant do you think this is? Previously, Mehbooba Mufti and BJP were in alliance. She was the last Chief Minister. Governor's rule, Article 370, peace, prosperity and changes, set for assembly polls now.
Extremely significant. What's crucial? 3-phase elections to be held, areas demarcated, first elections after delimitation, first election after Article 370, of course, when it comes to assembly.
Yes.
You've had elections in 2019, you've had elections in 2024, you've had block development elections, so you've had panchayat elections. Elections have happened even in the past in Jammu and Kashmir, but this is an extremely significant statement that's been made by this Chief Election Commissioner when he says, "Dunya dekhegi napak irado ki shikast." So at least the government is very confident. They have the apparatus in place for a led democracy taking firm roots in Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, we've reported on an environment where people said once Article 370 is abrogated or defanged, तिरंगे को कंधा देने वाला कोई नहीं होगा. And now elections are being held in various tiers. Assembly elections now, parliament elections before that, block elections, panchayat elections, and all very smooth. So this would perhaps be the ultimate defeat of Pakistan's narrative in Jammu and Kashmir about the dispute. However, challenges will be huge given the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir. But then remember, even after Article 370, Kashmir remained peaceful. The security forces are very confident they will be able to take this through too.
And Gaurav, there were a lot of questions happening because Supreme Court had said you need to get these elections done by 30th September. There were conspiracy theories if there's a deliberate delay happening. But Chief Election Commissioner, after examining on ground, said people have decided they want to be stakeholders in their destiny and change.
And they've done so. They did so in the Lok Sabha elections where voter turnout was 58% in areas, and that's huge. There were long queues. So those long queues actually show that people are coming out to vote. There is no fear of the bullet. There is this confidence in the victory of the ballot and the boycott brigade. That's extremely significant. You know, those who would get dates from Pakistan and have their boycott calendars in place, those elements have been sorted out. Perhaps elections will also sort out those who used to say that there'll be no one left to shoulder the tricolour. Given what we've just seen on Independence Day at Lal Chowk, the tricolour fluttering proudly and the tricolour in various homes, not restricted to pockets in North Kashmir or Gurez, but even in Srinagar and the very difficult phase. The first phase, where you have Kathua, Ramban, Doda, you also have South Kashmir, Anantnag, Pulwama, Shopian, Kulgam. These are very crucial areas where once the security forces were removed and a vacuum was created, that's where terrorists had moved in. There is no vacuum now. So, that Jamaat ecosystem perhaps would get a befitting response here. Of course, challenges do remain. Terror challenges remain.
That's right. So there will be a lot of changes that have happened on the ground from infrastructure, peace and prosperity. But whether it's terror and drug, as mentioned by the CEC, that also will be in consideration. 114 seats for Jammu and Kashmir, including 24 of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, 43 for Jammu, 47 for Kashmir. Preeti, what do you think this moment really means? Of course, there's Jammu and Kashmir. There are 90 seats for Haryana. For J&K, do you think it's going to be very important in how these elections are conducted and the support of the people on the ground?
Well, it's interesting because after delimitation, it's 90 seats now in Jammu and Kashmir, and there'll be 90 seats going into polls where the state of Haryana is concerned. Where Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, it's very interesting to note, number one, this is an election that's going to happen after a full decade. The last time we saw elections take place in Jammu and Kashmir was in 2014. What's also very, very interesting, and I think there needs to be a word of caution here, because we've seen a series of terror attacks where just 2 days ago we lost a young captain, and these terror attacks have happened in the Jammu sector as well. So yes, to exercise a word of caution, will we be able to conduct this democratic exercise in 3 phases, Pooja? Because let's look at that. Since 2014, the earlier 3 elections, this is the least number of phases that we are looking at conducting elections in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So let's hope we can actually conduct this democratic exercise peacefully.